All right, we are finally live on YouTube. First and foremost, let me just get this out of the way. My apologies for the late start if you're here live. I've just been dealing with a lot coming from everywhere. And it's all good stuff. It just takes time to accomplish. And I'm the kind of guy that likes to do as much as possible each and every day. I like to maximize my time. And sometimes it just gets me running late to these streams, and I do apologize for you folks that have been waiting here live. If you're here on the replay, like I always say, it's on demand. It's not going to matter, but just wanted to, you know, pay a special, apology to those of you that have been waiting live here today, or if it's happened in the past several times, like it has happened in the past. My apologies to you folks. I'm truly trying to get better at, starting these on time, because that's important to me. And, my time is valuable and your time is valuable, and I get it. I totally get it. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well. It's been a while since I've done a Walking with Purpose live stream. The last one I did, I believe, was not last Thursday, the Thursday before the last. And I'm just waiting here. There's a young mother and her young daughter, and they're heading towards the trail. And I'm going to have to surpass them. They're just going way too slow. And if they enter the trail, I hope they go on the right, because that's a shorter distance. So, anyway, I'm just going to sit here and wait, because they're just taking a while to get on the trail. I'm going to see where they're going to go. Don't want to freak them out. I've got the camera and a selfie stick. Or I could just go the other way. Hey Dion, how you doing, bro? Hey Lewis, how you doing? Lewis, welcome to the show. Good afternoon, Eli. I just gave you a like. Thank you. Sifu Smo, Dion. Hey Eli. Hey, how you doing, bro? Welcome. Welcome. It's like the lady and her daughter are just crossing to the other side by using the ramp to get onto the trail. So they're not even entering the trail, which is good. Yeah, it's beautiful out here today. It's 90 degrees out here in Redwood City. It was 90 degrees. Actually, it was 95 when I left my house. And it was 88 when I stepped out of my car, because we're by the water here. 7 degrees cooler. I can definitely feel the breeze coming off of the trail. Let me just pull up to the side here. Somebody's coming in. So yeah, I've taken the last almost week and a half off, and I'm gonna share with you folks what I was doing during that time. Hey Pablo, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. So I'm going to share with you folks what I've been doing during that time. I did do a stream on Coach Eli 2 last night. Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams, my lady and I. We decided to come back a day earlier from our break. We were initially going to come back today with this show here, or I was going to come back solo, but it was Father's Day yesterday, and we were talking about it, when we got together on Friday night, and we just felt it would be a great idea to pay a tribute to fathers out there and then discuss the importance of fathers. How important is it to, be a good father to your son or your sons or daughters, right? And the show kind of went a little bit longer than we thought it would. It was about 2.5 hours long, and we went over 2 great blog articles with a lot of great information. A lot of that information I've spoken on before, but it was just interesting to see it in bullet point format and to give our commentary on it. And it was interesting to hear my lady's thoughts about it as well, because she does have a son and a daughter, and she was married, and she has seen herself personally how important the role of the father is to her own kids, or how it can affect her kids or their kids negatively or positively. So go to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams and check that out later tonight or tomorrow if you want to get more information on that. Nightbot's sharing the link to my Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams channel every 7 minutes, or just go to youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored. That's youtube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored. And yeah, Coach Eli 2 is getting closer and closer to monetization. We did accrue some watch time while my lady and I were on the break last week, or for the last week and a half or so. And so we are almost 75% of the way there. We are nearing 3,000 watch hours on that channel. So, if you'd like to help us out and catch some great content, there's plenty of content on that channel to catch up on. You can go back and check out, when my lady first came onto YouTube, I interviewed her, and then we did her, incredible life transformation story, part 1 and part 2. Between both parts, it was about 5 to 6 hours worth of content, something like that, 5.5 hours or so worth of content. And both of those streams, I think part 1 has over 600 views, and part 2 is getting close to 600 views. So, it's something that people were interested in. And if you want to learn more about my lady and what she's experienced and how she's turned things around, you can check that out, and the tons of other content we've done since that point. And we did that interview, I think it's close to about a month or so ago, and we've done plenty of other great shows together. And the interesting thing between her and I is that we're raw and real. It's like sometimes we overtalk each other live on the air, because that's what happens in real life. Like, her and I love each other so much that we finish each other's sentences because we know what each other's going to say. And we're both trying to get better of not cutting each other off while live on the air, so the conversation can flow more, naturally. But it's raw and real. And, that's what I love about doing shows with my lady. And that's what I love about her. So, whew. What else was I going to say? It just feels really nice to be back out on the trail. Even though it's hot, the breeze is just keeping it a little bit cooler. And I feel great. I haven't done many walks. I think I only did 3 walks during the 9 or 10 day period I was gone. But my lady and I have done so much walking because we've gone to many places. Yesterday we went to my father's gravesite to pay him a special tribute, and we ended up going to Costco to get some things, and ended up going to a nice dinner afterwards. And we've done our fair share of walking, so we were doing so many things to the point of where I didn't have time to take my walks because we were just walking around wherever else we would go. But I'll tell you, folks, there's nothing. How do I explain this the right way without giving my lady or other people in relationships the wrong idea? No matter how much you love someone or care for someone, like I really love and care for my lady, but I've been spending so much time with her lately, and I've been helping her out with so many things. I'll share more about that in just a little bit. All right, we're back live. We should be back live. My apologies, folks. I'll leave off where I left off in a second. I got cut off. Nothing much, just got done drawing probably. Okay. What are you drawing, Pablo? That's interesting. Anyway, like I said, my lady and I, we're working on a bunch of things over the weekend, and we're planning for the future. We're going over finances. We're consolidating things. I've been helping her, consolidate. She has her car loan, and her car loan didn't have the greatest interest rate, and I helped her get a way better interest rate. And this is part of what makes me feel like a man, and this is what any man can help a woman with. I'm not saying that women aren't capable of doing this on their own. Some are, but many aren't, because a lot of women don't like to do these kinds of things. When they go and they buy a car at the dealership, they just want to get a car and get off the lot. They're not looking at interest rates and stuff like that, right? And as a man, my job is to try to consolidate our bills if we're going to move forward together, get the lowest interest rate, and pay things off as quickly as possible, and make some good investments that are going to make us more money, yada, yada, yada. And that's what we were doing over the weekend. And we've been doing that for the past several weeks. We've been, if you're going to make something work with somebody, folks, you got to be open, honest, and transparent about everything. And you got to sit down and talk about each other's financial situations. And you got to get budgets in order, yada, yada, yada. That's what we were doing. And that's part of why we took the week off, week and a half off or so. Another reason is I wanted to create some pre-recorded content, and I also wanted to look into getting my content out on many various podcast arenas. So, you're looking at iTunes, you're looking at like Spotify, you're looking at too many others to mention. I'm not going to mention them all here, right? But there are a ton of places where you can put content out in podcast format, and a lot of my content doesn't necessarily, require video to understand the content. It's about what I say, in those videos. And some people just want to, listen, while they're jogging or walking, like I am, right? And if you have YouTube Premium, you can do that. It has background play. If you don't have YouTube Premium, then you have to leave your screen open and watch the video, or at least have the video going in your pocket while you're listening to the audio. And for people that don't have YouTube Premium, that wouldn't work. That's where podcasts would come into play. But in addition to being on multiple other, podcasting platforms, it's another exposure piece for your content, and you can use those platforms to, get more search engine optimization for your name, business, and brand, right? And then redirect people over to YouTube so they can watch the videos there if they want, whether they're live or pre-recorded, right? So, I was looking into that, and, we still haven't decided, which platforms we're going to be putting on the audio versions of my content, but, we're going to be working on that over the next, several weeks to month or two. It's going to take a little bit of time to figure out how we're going to do that, and, who's going to do it. Because in order to get, audio content on these platforms, you have to extract the audio from your videos, which you do that, through, video rendering, software, or even audio software can do it too. And then you have to edit it out, because, some of the content I produce, I take breaks and play 8 or 9 minutes of royalty-free YouTube music, etc. So there's a lot to do. It's a big process. And that's another thing that we were working on. Looks like over on Highway 101, there's some activity with fire trucks, and I just saw a lot of water being sprayed on the side of the road. I don't know if a car was on fire. All right, we should be back live. I apologize, I got cut off again. There are a lot of cars on the 101. I think it's affecting the cell tower bandwidth, so I may be getting cut off more than usual. There's some, I don't know if you got this part before I got cut off. There are a bunch of fire trucks on the southbound side of 101, on southbound 101, and one of the trucks was spraying water. It looked like it was going on the side of the road, or could have been a car or something. But yeah, it's affecting traffic, and the more cars that are around in one spot, it affects your cell reception. So my apologies for that. But anyway, so yeah, those were some of the things that we did, and then we got some rest. Rest is always good to prevent burnout, and it was just a really nice break. And I tend to take a week or two break from YouTube, typically 2 to 3 times a year. It usually happens either every 4 or 6 months. Every 4 to 6 months, I will take, a 1 to 2 week break, depending on what I need to do in my personal life, how much content I've been putting out, and how exhausted I am after, creating all that content. Because for me, I not only create, live streaming content all the time, fairly regularly, at least 5 to 6 days a week, I also create pre-recorded content at times. And just to remind you folks, earlier today as well, on top of the live stream that I did on Coach Eli 2 last night with my lady regarding Father's Day and the importance of fathers, I put out a Walking with Purpose pre-recorded video here on this channel, a Walking with Purpose pre-recorded video, I think I said that right, in 4K at 60 frames per second. It came out around 11:30 a.m. Pacific time today. And for the remainder of the week, I have 4 additional scheduled, 4 Walking with Purpose pre-recorded videos scheduled in 4K at 60 frames per second at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. So tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, you will get some more Walking with Purpose videos. They are from a different location of the San Francisco Bay Trail, further up north in San Mateo, California, which is where YouTube started by those college kids almost 20 years ago. It's at a park called Seal Point Park, and it's just right by the San Francisco Bay. And it's beautiful, but it's very, very, very windy. And it was super windy there when I recorded these videos, but ironically, they came out pretty good. The windscreen did quite well. And I think it does better on the pre-recorded videos because there's not any electrical interference, happening on the pre-recorded videos because I have the phone set to airplane mode. Because it's not broadcasting live, it's just recording locally on, my iPhone's, storage drive. It's a solid state drive that they use in these phones now, just like they use in computers now. But it's smaller. It's like flash memory is what it is. So keep on the lookout for those. So lots of stuff going on, folks. I've just been, dabbling my hands and feet into many things. I've also, my lady and I have also been working on some other ventures. I'm not going to get into too much detail because, I want to respect my lady's privacy, obviously. But my lady's doing very well. And, she's got some job opportunities lined up. Let's just put it this way. This is why I network with people. This is why I always treat people the way I want to be treated. And, I know a lot of people from before my YouTube days, have a lot of contacts. And when you have a lot of contacts and you're just good to people and they know who you are and they know your lady, right? Guess what happens? You start getting opportunities that you could have never imagined to get. And my lady has some opportunities right now, and all we're gonna come out and say is that we're very grateful and thankful for those opportunities. I'm not quite sure if those people watch my shows all the time or not, but we're very grateful and thankful for those opportunities. So, in case anyone's wondering, the missus, whatever we want to call her, is doing very well. And yeah, that's that. It's just really nice to be back out here on a walk. So, we're going to get to the topic here today. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco Bay Trail here in beautiful and hot Redwood City, California, but not as hot here by the trail because that breeze off of the water is making a hell of a difference, I'll tell you that. This is episode number 312, episode number 312. And today's topic is missed opportunities allows for better ones. Missed opportunities, allows for better ones. This is a topic here that I've struggled with a lot in the past. Especially more so in my younger days, throughout my 20s, and maybe until about my mid-30s. By the time I hit my mid-30s, I really started to realize, maybe in my early 30s, but definitely by my mid-30s, I started to realize that missed opportunities are actually not a bad thing. They're actually a very good thing. Because what missed opportunities do is they leave a space open for a better opportunity to come into your life. Whether it be a business opportunity in the workplace, or maybe independent contract type of job or self-employed type of job, right? Or if you're in the workforce, if you applied for one job that you really wanted to get, and then you didn't get it, and you're hurt and you're upset, right? And you're wondering why you didn't get it, but then a few weeks later, you are made aware of an opportunity, and people want you to take that opportunity that's going to pay you 3 times as much with more perks, and it's something more that you enjoy doing. That's the way I've started to look at missed opportunities. But a lot of people don't. They don't get that job, or if that relationship that they're in doesn't work, or if things just don't go their way, or things don't pan out in certain situations in life, people just give up and they start to get upset. And instead of putting themselves back out there and looking at that missed opportunity as an opportunity to find something better, or for something better to come into your life, then you're just holding yourself back from accomplishing the greatness that you were meant to accomplish. The perfect example I can come up with regarding this topic here is, one of my other decent relationships I've had in my life. And many of you that have been following me for a while remember this woman from my former channel. Her name was Dana. And, this is what I told my lady. This is with no disrespect to Dana. I still think Dana's a good woman. She was one of the best relationships I had. And I'm not going to sit here and talk smack because it didn't work out. I know why it didn't work out, and I understand it, and I own it, right? But, I was talking to my lady recently about this, and I said, look, babe, you've heard a lot about Dana through, other people on YouTube, because she used to be a part of my former YouTube channel. And there are still some videos out there that surface every now and then with Dana and I. Not as many anymore, because I've re-uploaded them all to another channel I have called Coach Eli Classics, videos from my former channel. And those videos are either they're under unlisted or private. I have them there just to protect my content. I told my lady that, hey, despite the fact that it was a great relationship, I'm not upset or unhappy that it didn't work out. Yes, it hurt at the time, but look what happened. I found somebody better, you. We're more compatible. We were made for each other. Things have flowed so much better. I'm not saying things didn't flow with my ex Dana, but things are flowing even better between you and I. So, the fact that it didn't work out ended up being a good thing. That missed opportunity turned into an opening on where I was able to meet this woman and be even happier than I was with my ex Dana. And again, I'm not trying to criticize her or anything. I think she's a good woman. I have nothing bad to say about her. It's just for one reason or another, it just wasn't meant to go the distance, right? And us not working out left that space open for me to go the distance with the woman I'm with now. And Jesus Christ. I didn't see a motorcycle. Sounds like a car without a muffler or loud exhaust. Anyway. Yeah, traffic is really moving slowly on southbound 101 because of that activity with the fire trucks up there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the hell happened there. I'll check in on it later. It has me wondering. Let me just take a moment to look at the beautiful patch of water over there. You know, in my life, I've also mentioned this in the past, so I'll just say it briefly. I went through many missed opportunities in the workforce before I became self-employed. I worked for many different retail companies. And, you know, I'll just briefly mention it again because I mentioned it plenty of times in the recent past. You know, one of my first jobs, was actually my second job, was working for Costco Wholesale in my early 20s, through my mid-20s, and I was one of the best workers they had, humbly speaking. And I kept getting passed up for promotion. I wanted to work my way up to supervisor, first to cashier, then to supervisor, then to department manager, then to, you know, assistant, you know, general warehouse manager, then general manager of the warehouse, and maybe further my way up, right? I've always been big on moving up and rising up, and I've always worked hard, but I kept getting passed up. I kept on getting passed up over BS corporate political reasons, right? Because it's more about who you know, not what you know in the corporate world. Now, it doesn't hurt to be a good employee, but if you also don't know the management or are really in with management or good with management, then it's going to be harder for you to move up the corporate ladder. That's one of the secrets I teach people nowadays, is make friends with the bosses. You know, don't sleep with them or anything like that. Don't do anything stupid, but be friends with them. You can hang out with them, have drinks, whatever. Get in good with your bosses, but also work hard. So it doesn't appear like you're just getting promoted because you're the boss's friends, but being the boss's friend and being a good worker is the best way to get promoted in the quickest way, right? But I hadn't learned that lesson until after my experiences working at Costco. So what did I do? I looked at that as a missed opportunity, but I wasn't upset about it because I ended up going to a different company, Office Depot, and they immediately promoted me based on my experience, and I worked my way up, and I had a great career, you know, in the retail management, and the retail corporate world, you know, for several years after that. And I learned a lot about how to run a business, which is how I know how to run a business nowadays for myself. So it was that missed opportunity that I didn't let get to me. And that missed opportunity allowed the doors to open to other better opportunities. Okay? Same thing goes for relationships, folks. When you're in a relationship, if you meet someone, you start dating someone for a couple, 2-3 months, right? Okay? You gotta, you know, find out as soon as possible if you're compatible on all levels, right? And typically by, you know, the 2 to 3 month period at some point, typically around the 2.5 to 3 month period, if you're a guy and you're with a woman, or a woman you're with a guy, same thing, the woman's going to know by that point if she wants to become exclusive with you or not. And if she's not ready to become exclusive with you, it's because she's not valuing the relationship. If she does want to become exclusive with you, you have to ask yourself, do you feel the same way, right? Because if you don't feel the same way, you cut your losses as quickly as possible. You try to remove yourself from that relationship as politely and cordially as possible while being honest. but do it in the mature way. And then, you let go of that missed opportunity, and that opens the door for something better to come into your life. A lot of times, people, stay involved in business partnerships and marriages and relationships a lot longer than they should because they fear being alone, right? Or they fear that, they're not going to be able to, get another job, as quickly, right? They have lots of fears, right? And what I'm here to tell you folks today is that you should have no fear in going after what you want, and understanding that going after what you want is going to require you to remove things you don't want that are going to be in the way of getting what you want, or take away the energy that you need to get what you want. If you keep focusing your energy on what you don't want or what's setting you back, you're not going to have the energy to focus on what's going to move you forward. Hopefully that makes sense to you folks. About to get to the observation deck. Such a beautiful day. Beautiful day. All right. So there's some people up there. I'm just gonna come here to the end. And turn things around. All right, so that's all I have to say for today. I hope you folks learned something new. And like I've always said in the past, folks, I know it's hard to believe people nowadays and to take advice from people. But I'm here to tell you wholeheartedly, all of the information I share with you folks and the examples I share with you folks have tremendously changed my life, has brought more happiness and peace into my life. And that's all I want to help you folks accomplish. So before we get on out of here, please make sure that you subscribe to both my channels. If you're here for the first time, you haven't subscribed here on my main monetized channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Please subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications so that way you don't miss anything. Also, please subscribe to my Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams channel. Nightbot's been sharing the link every 7 minutes. YouTube.com/Coach Eli Uncensored. That channel should be monetized over the next 2 to 3 to 4 weeks or so. It's taking a little bit longer than we thought because we did take about a week and a half off just recently. But we did a stream again on there last night, and we're streams. And this channel here will be solely pre-recorded videos. I mean, every now and then I may do. All right, we're back. I'm sorry about that, folks. We're back. Like I was saying before, I started seeing the buffering circle show up on my phone. I may do some streams occasionally on this channel here once I get Coach Eli 2 monetized and move all the streams over there. But for the most part, this will be pre-recorded videos here at the highest quality, 4K at 60 frames per second. Some YouTube shorts will also be happening here, and some more members only, exclusive members only content. So make sure you subscribe to both of my channels and bang the bell, and then make sure you select all notifications once you bang the bell so you get notified whenever I go live or put out a pre-recorded video. And one more thing before I go, Coach Eli 2, uncensored live streams, maybe getting a name change. I've been talking about that a lot. If I do decide to change the name, it'll probably happen by the end of this week or early next week. So keep it locked here and Coach Eli 2 to find out more about that. With that being said, I want to thank you all for being here, whether you're here live or on the replay. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and again, that way you won't miss anything. Have yourselves a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.